It's called defense. You gotta protect our homes. Our troops, they knew what they were doing when they went in. This is their job. They have to do it. You can't deny it.
Okay.
You know, this constant spin from every direction now, and so you try. It really keeps you on your toes to try to figure out a way to convey your message that's going to be that's going to penetrate the fog of spin.
Saddam Hussein now has weapons of mass destruction.
Weapons of mass destruction.
A clear threat to the United States.
There's dozens of ballistic missiles.
It has sponsored and sheltered terrorists.
Paying suicide
bombers. Chemical weapons are equally true.
Biological weapons, including anthrax and botulism toxins.
Biological and chemical agent to kill millions of people.
Chemical weapons, including VX and sarin, mustard gas.
To a massive and sudden horror.
Massive death and destruction.
Death on a massive scale.
The danger to our country is grave.
Saddam Hussein is a threat to peace.
The danger to our country is growing. The regime is seeking a nuclear bomb.
Saddam has resumed his efforts to acquire nuclear weapons. Develop nuclear weapons.
Nuclear weapons. Saddam, Al-Qaeda. Saddam, Al-Qaeda. Saddam, the Al-Qaeda. Saddam, Al-Qaeda. Bring them on.
Earlier as agitators. Powers that be try to make that a pejorative in our society. Oh, those agitators. Our workers were perfectly happy in this factory till those outside union agitators came in and started messing with it. Poor folks on the side of town didn't care about that toxic waste dump until those environmental agitators came in and stirred them up. Well, hogwash and horse hockey and all that. Agitation is what built America. Were it not for agitators, we'd be wearing white powdered wigs singing God Hail the Queen here today. And don't worry when they say, oh, well, you're just an agitator. The agitator is the center post in the washing machine that gets the dirt out. Think about that.
I think one thing that was unique in the period leading up to the war was we were often called to action in a way that we'd never been before, and to provide opportunities for action in a way that we'd never been before. I remember a demonstration at Muhlenberg College before there was anything else in the community. Mm-hmm. It was very large for a gathering in the rain. So I think, and that was kind of the first signal that the opposition to this was going to be much more significant than other things that we had seen.
Petition to the governor of Pennsylvania to not use the National Guard in the event of a war against Iraq. During the march, we're going to march and drop it off, a copy of it at the National Guard, and we're also going to send a copy to the governor as well. But if you want your name to be on that petition for the National Guard of Pennsylvania to not be sent out.
I think I first got involved more to learn about what was going on than anything else. I got involved in learning what was happening with starting the war in Iraq and the push to have one, and began a group on campus of students that were interested in just knowing what was going on. And we watched all the speeches, we watched the news as a group, and then we talked about it. And Chaplain Bredlau was there, and he helped us think through some of the issues and what was going on, and things like that. And then after learning more about it, I formed a position against the war based on not necessarily the news, but based on the reasons that they were pushing for it. And then also I got involved on the campus because I wanted the issues to be more in the public sphere and more talked about among students, and thought that it was something that was just being brushed over and nobody was thinking about, and that wasn't right.
Folks from Muhlenberg, folks from Rod have done amazing work in organizing and bringing this together today. But this is just the beginning. Right? This is the beginning of reclaiming our democracy, of reclaiming our right to have our voices, to reclaim our...
So I moved to the Lehigh Valley at a time when these activities were just beginning. You know, there was clear that the Bush administration wanted to go to war in Iraq, and part of what I was trying to do was find out who's doing what in the area. Given the work that I had done with the global justice movement, and how we had used, say, information technologies, how we'd use listservs, how we'd use networks as an organizational strategy, what I began to think is like, well, this is something I can contribute, right? Why don't I say, all right, let me set up this listserv and start accumulating email addresses of people throughout the region. So at least there was some beginnings of a communication network among these different groups.